Hello, good morning, grade 7 Diophantus. Today we are going to talk about elements of weather. So, what is weather? Do you still recall your lessons before? Okay, so weather is the condition of the Earth's atmosphere at a certain time and place. It's the day to day condition of the atmosphere. Weather conditions in the atmosphere can be recognized through direct observation. So, if you go out and take a look, you will see whether the sun is up or whether it's a gloomy day or uh, whether it's about to rain or whether the the weather is fine. So you can observe it using your eyes. Weather is described by factors such as temperature, humidity, precipitation, air pressure, wind, and visibility. So these are the things related to weather. What is temperature and how is it measured? Temperature is a measure of how hot or cold something is. An instrument that measures and displays temperature is called a thermometer. So simply, when we say temperature, it is how hot or how cold something is, and an instrument used to measure it is what we call thermometer, from the two words thermo and meter. So thermo means hot, and meter means measurement. Some thermometers use thermal expansion of a liquid to determine temperature. So, as what you have already learned, thermal expansion is the way something changes in shape, area, or volume depending upon the energy that it carries. Some thermometers use electric current or electricity to determine temperature, hence the name electrical thermometers. So moving on, humidity. What is humidity and how is it measured? Humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air. As more water evaporates, humidity of the air increases. So when we say humidity is the amount of moisture, so water vapor is of course water in gas form. So the more water that evaporates, meaning the higher the humidity is. It is directly proportional. So relative humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air compared to the amount of water vapor needed to reach saturation. So it is measured with a psychrometer. The relative humidity is measured with a psychrometer. And a psychrometer, from the two words psychro, which means cold, and meter, which means measurement. So this type of instrument, there is what we call the sling psychrometer that has two thermometers. And for further details about this, you can check out many videos on YouTube so you can see how it works. So it measures the relative humidity. And when air is saturated, the rates of evaporation and condensation are equal. So just think that the amount of water that evaporates is the same with the condensate, or the from water vapor or gas, it turns to liquid, or condensation, of course. So they are the same. So that is when we say that the air is saturated, when they are equal. All right. So dew point, it's the temperature at which more condensation than evaporation occurs. So at this time, it's different. So when we say dew point, it's when the temperature at which more condensate or more condensation than evaporation occurs. And when air temperature drops below the dew point, water vapor condenses to form dew, fog, and clouds. So, meaning when the temperature of the air is below this dew point, then we form then our or the dew, fog, and clouds are formed. Okay. And there's a question here. What is humidity and how is it measured? Is the humidity in the air increasing or decreasing? Yes, so if you're going to look at this picture, you can see the arrows going up and going down. So the arrows going up indicates evaporation is occurring, and arrow going down means condensation is occurring. So based from the definition of humidity, which is the moisture amount of moisture in the air or uh, the amount of water vapor in the air. So we can say that the humidity here is increasing because as what you can see, there are more water molecules in going up or in the atmosphere. So hence, there is an increase in the humidity. What is precipitation and how is it measured? Precipitation is any form of water that falls to Earth's surface from the clouds. It includes rain, snow, hail, and sleet. So in this, we call the rain, snow, hail, and sleet as precipitate. So these are the types of precipitate or precipitation. Inside a cloud, water droplets can collide to form larger droplets. And when they become heavy enough, they fall as rain. So you know the water cycle, and this is a part of the water cycle. So when the clouds do not cannot hold the amount of water droplets anymore, then uh, they form larger, they become heavy, and they fall as rain. So that is how the rain is produced. Rain is measured with a rain gauge. So the word gauge means uh, measuring device or measurement. So you use the rain gauge to measure the amount of rain. Snow forms when air temperatures are low enough to turn water vapor into a solid. So fallen snow may be measured with a meter stick. So you are also familiar with the snow. Rain and snow we are familiar. So when bolts or lumps of ice fall from clouds during thunderstorms, it is called hail. So this one we might not be that familiar, especially with the difference uh, between the hail and the sleet. So just to give you an insight, so the hail is bigger than the sleet, and uh, sleet is another term for sleet is ice pellets. So these are smaller sleet or ice pellets are smaller than the hail. They are softer. Hail is harder, and hail most commonly occurs during summer, and sleet occurs during winter. Okay, so clouds. So let's go to the type of clouds. So number one, we have the cirrus clouds. These clouds are made of ice and appear feathery or wispy. So if you go out and you observe this, these clouds, uh, which are feathery or wispy or thin, okay, they are cirrus clouds. And the other one is cumulus clouds. They appear as heaps of or piles, or uh, commonly they describe it as like cotton balls or like cottons or puffy clouds. They form in fair weather but can produce thunderstorms. Yes, and when it produces this that type of cloud is what you call the cumulonimbus clouds, because the nimbus clouds are rain producing clouds. So the third one is the stratus clouds that form flat layers that can block out the sun and produce steady rain. So from the word stratus, stratus means layer. So these clouds form layers or flat layers that can block out the sun and produce steady rain. So these clouds